Welcome to my channel, my classy ladies. Here, on the topic of the old money aesthetic, we all know the intricate philosophy behind its timelessness, heritage, quality, and refinement. But the truth is, timeless does not mean stagnant. Jewelry trends have shifted greatly from 2025, and we are in for a massive change. Last year, it was all about tiny, invisible jewelry. But this year, the definition of elegance is the collector. We are seeing pieces that look like family heirlooms, with massive weight and history. So today, I am sharing the 5 jewelry pieces that bridge the gap between 2026 trends and old money elegance. We are moving from your face down to your hands, curating a full picture that whispers luxury instead of shouting it. And without further ado, let's get into it. Let us begin with the first piece, which represents the most significant shift in the old money aesthetic for 2026. Piece 1, the fluid drop earring. My classy ladies, if the pearl stud was the silence of the past, stoic, stationary, and safe, then the fluid drop is the melody of the future. For decades, we have been told that elegant meant invisible. We were taught that to look expensive, our jewelry had to be small, perfectly round, and firmly attached to the earlobe. But in 2026, the definition of refinement is evolving. It is moving away from rigidity and towards flow. The fluid drop earring is exactly what it sounds like. It is not a heavy, jeweled chandelier earring that weighs you down, nor is it a stiff geometric shape. It is a piece of metal, typically gold or silver, that appears to be melting or dripping. It mimics the organic movement of water or molten metal frozen in time. Why is this the new standard for the elegant woman? Because true luxury is effortless, and nothing looks more effortless than a shape that follows the natural lines of your body. When you wear a large button earring or a stud, the eye often stops right at the earlobe. It creates a horizontal line that can sometimes widen the face. The fluid drop does the opposite. It draws the eye vertically. It creates a seamless line from the jaw down to the neck, creating an optical illusion of length and grace. In the industry, we often speak about the facelift effect of certain jewelry, and the fluid drop is the undisputed queen of this category. By leading the gaze downward, it highlights the tendon of the neck and the curve of the jawline, enhancing your bone structure without the need for contour or correction. Now we must discuss the specific anatomy of the perfect fluid drop, because this is where many women make mistakes. The old money version of this trend is substantial, but not hollow-looking. You want a piece that has a high polish or a semi-matte, crushed texture. The light should ripple off the surface as you move. Avoid earrings that look like flat, stamped sheets of metal. Those read as a costume jewelry. You want a 3-dimensional shape, something that looks like a sculptor formed it with their hands. Think of the artistic jewelry of the 1970s and 80s. Bold, golden glamour that feels collected rather than bought. When selecting your metal, warmth is usually preferred for that rich, heritage look. A deep 18-karat yellow gold plating or solid gold offers that buttery, expensive warmth. However, for my ladies with cool undertones, 2026 is seeing a massive resurgence in liquid silver. A high-shine sterling silver drop can look incredibly modern and architectural, often looking even more expensive than gold because it feels like a deliberate, artistic choice rather than a default one. The versatility of the fluid drop is another reason it has claimed the top spot in the elegant wardrobe. Unlike a diamond drop, which can feel too formal for daytime, the metal fluid drop is texture-focused, not sparkle-focused. This means it works just as beautifully with a chunky cashmere turtleneck in the dead of winter as it does with a linen sundress in the heat of summer. It bridges the gap between artistic and corporate. You can wear these to a board meeting, and they signal creativity and confidence. You can wear them to a candlelit dinner, and they catch the flickering light in the most romantic way. Styling these earrings requires a small shift in mindset. Because they have movement, you want to give them space to breathe. They look most powerful when the neck is exposed. A slicked back bun, a low chignon, or even a short bob haircut allows the earring to move freely without getting tangled. Ultimately, the fluid drop earring represents a woman who is adaptable. It is not trying to be a perfect circle. It is organic, unique, and individual, just like the woman wearing it. If the fluid drop earring is designed to draw the eye downward, cascading from the jawline to the neck, then our next piece is there to catch that gaze and hold it. Piece 2. The gold chain necklace. My classy ladies, think of your jewelry as architecture. The earrings are the decorative flourishes at the top of the building, but the necklace? The necklace is the foundation. It is the anchor that connects your face to your outfit, creating harmony between your skin and your clothing. While earrings may change depending on your mood or your hairstyle, the gold chain is the constant. In the old money wardrobe of 2026, this piece is not just an accessory, it is a daily uniform, a signature that becomes as recognizable as your perfume. However, just like with our earrings, the standard advice has shifted. For the last few years, we were told that elegance meant barely there. We saw chains so thin they looked like a single strand of hair, often tangling or breaking after a few wears. That era is over. For 2026, the key word is texture. We are moving away from the invisible and toward the substantial. The elegant woman today chooses a chain that has presence, not because it is chunky or loud, but because it looks rich. We are seeing a massive return to woven textures. The rope chain and the snake chain are the two most important styles for this year. A rope chain with its twisted, spiral design catches the light from every angle, creating a diamond-cut sparkle without a single stone being present. A snake chain offers a different kind of luxury. It lies flat against the skin like a ribbon of liquid gold, reflecting a solid, continuous beam of light. Both of these styles suggest weight and permanence. They look like pieces you didn't just pick up on a whim, but pieces you inherited from a collection. When selecting your chain, you must pay attention to the drape. This is the secret to the old money aesthetic. A stiff chain that sits awkwardly on the collarbone looks cheap, regardless of the price tag. You want a chain that moves with you, melting against the skin. The ideal length for 2026 is slightly longer than a choker, but shorter than a pendant chain, typically resting right in the hollow of your collarbone or just below it. This placement is strategic. It creates a triangle of light at the base of your throat, which illuminates your face and adds a warm, golden glow to your complexion that no highlighter can replicate. Let's talk about the uniform. The reason the gold chain is the ultimate investment is that it never needs to be taken off. In the morning, tucked under the collar of a crisp white shirt, it offers a glimpse of gold that breaks up the severity of the cotton. It says, "I am professional, but I am feminine." In the evening, paired with a black cashmere sweater or a silk slip dress, that same chain becomes the centerpiece of the look. It is the thread that ties your entire wardrobe together. There is also a psychological element to wearing a substantial gold chain. It feels grounding. The slight weight of it on your neck serves as a physical reminder of your own value. In 2026, we are not layering 12 different cheap chains to make a statement. We are choosing one impeccable, high-quality chain, perhaps in 14 karat or 18 karat gold vermeil, and letting it stand alone. This is the essence of restraint. You do not need more, you just need better. As we secure this foundation around the neck, we have established a line of elegance from the ear to the throat. But now, we must move further down, to the garment itself. Because while the chain anchors the body, our next piece is what separates the woman who wears clothes from the woman who styles them. We have adorned the skin with the fluid movement of the earring and the warm glow of the gold chain. But now, we arrive at the most pivotal moment in our 2026 wardrobe. We are moving from the body to the garment. Piece 3. The Lapel Brooch. Now I can almost hear some of you hesitating. For decades, the brooch was unfairly categorized. It was seen as dusty, dated, something reserved for grandmothers or royalty. But my classy ladies, if you have been paying attention to the runways and the most stylish women on the streets of Paris and Milan this year, you know that the brooch has returned with a vengeance. However, it has returned with a new purpose. In 2026, the brooch is not just a piece of jewelry, it is a tool of architecture. This is the piece that separates the woman who simply gets dressed from the woman who truly understands style. Anyone can buy a blazer. Anyone can buy a wool coat. But the woman who pins a structural, matte gold brooch to her lapel is telling the world that she is not passive about her clothing. She is curating it. She is taking a mass-produced garment and customizing it, giving it a focal point that is entirely unique to her. This is the very essence of the old money mindset. The idea that your clothes should serve you, not the other way around. Let us talk about the specific aesthetic for 2026 because we are not returning to the flashy, rhinestone-covered explosions of the 1950s. The modern brooch is sculptural, echoing the fluid lines of our drop earrings from earlier. We are looking for abstract shapes in heavy gold vermeil, hammered textures that look like ancient artifacts, or perhaps a modern reinterpretation of the classic cameo. We are seeing a move toward matte finishes rather than high shine polish. A matte gold brooch against a navy blue wool blazer or a camel cashmere coat creates a contrast that is so rich, so textural, that it instantly makes the coat look 10 times more expensive. The placement of the brooch is where the magic happens. The traditional spot on the left lapel is always elegant, of course. It draws the eye to the center of the body, breaking up the dark fabric of a suit. But in 2026, we are seeing the brooch used more cleverly. We are seeing it pinned at the waist of a wrap dress to secure the fabric and accentuate the hourglass shape. We are seeing it used to close the neck of a silk blouse, replacing the top button with something jeweled and precious. This is functional jewelry. It is doing work. It is holding, gathering, and draping your fabric in a way that flatters your silhouette. There is also a wonderful element of the hunt associated with brooches. Unlike a diamond stud or a gold chain which you can buy at any jeweler, a great brooch often requires searching. It leans into the eclectic grandpa and grandma core, trends that have matured into high-fashion staples for 2026. Wearing a vintage piece, perhaps one with a pearl detail or a semi-precious stone like onyx or malachite, implies heritage. It implies that you have access to a jewelry box that goes back generations. Even if you bought it yesterday, the vibe it projects is one of history. So do not be afraid of this piece. It is the ultimate conversation starter. While a necklace sits against your skin, the brooch sits on your armor. It is the final seal of approval you place on your outfit before walking out the door. It signals that you are finished, polished, and ready. As we move from the torso, where we have established structure and style, we must now travel down to the wrist. We are leaving the realm of pure decoration and entering the world of discipline. Because our next piece does not just look beautiful, it serves a vital purpose. We leave the structure of the lapel and move to the pulse points of the wrist. We have established our artistic side with the earrings, our foundation with the chain, and our curatorial eye with the brooch. Now, we introduce the element of discipline. Piece 4. The cocktail watch. For the last decade, our wrists have been dominated by technology. We have seen black screens, rubber straps, and oversized dials that buzz and beep at us every 5 seconds. While functional, let's be honest, there is nothing old money about being constantly accessible. True wealth is not about tracking your steps, it is about owning your time. In 2026, the pendulum has swung back. We are seeing a rejection of the smartwatch and a massive return to the petite cocktail watch. This is the most significant shift in watch trends we have seen in years. We are saying goodbye to the boyfriend watch, those chunky, masculine timepieces that swallow the wrist whole. The elegant woman of 2026 is choosing a watch that is unapologetically feminine. We are talking about faces that are no bigger than your thumbnail. These are not just timekeepers, they are bracelets that happen to tell time. The aesthetic for 2026 is defined by shape. For years, the round watch face was the default. Today, the most coveted pieces are architectural: ovals, rectangles, and squares. Think of the iconic Cartier baignoire, with its perfect elongated oval that wraps around the wrist like a golden bathtub. Or the Longines Mini Dolce Vita, with its sharp, Art Deco rectangular lines. These shapes feel vintage, inherited, and rare. They break the monotony of the circle and act as geometric jewelry. A key detail to look for this year is the two-tone metal. For a long time, mixing metals was considered a fashion faux pas. Now, it is the mark of a collector. A watch that weaves silver and gold together in the bracelet is incredibly versatile. It solves the eternal problem of, does this match my earrings? Perfectly. It acts as a bridge, allowing you to wear your silver rings and your gold chain simultaneously without looking disjointed. There is also a profound elegance in the materials we are seeing. The old money watch often favors a leather strap, black, cognac, or a deep oxblood red. A leather strap whispers. It is subtle. It does not catch the light like a metal bracelet, but it adds a rich, organic texture to your outfit that feels scholarly and refined. It suggests that you are a woman of letters, a woman who spends her time in libraries or galleries rather than gyms. But beyond the aesthetics, wearing a classic cocktail watch signals a specific set of values. It signals respect. When you check the time on a watch, it is a discreet, elegant gesture. When you check the time on a phone, it pulls you out of the moment and into the chaos of the digital world. The woman who wears a cocktail watch is signaling that she is present. She values the time of the people she is with. This quiet discipline is the bedrock of the old money reputation. Styling this piece is all about the stack. Because these new watches are so petite, they invite company. In 2026, we are not wearing the watch alone. We are pairing it with a thin gold bangle, or perhaps a delicate tennis bracelet. The watch becomes the anchor of a curated wrist stack, adding structure to the sparkle. It looks intentional, not cluttered. As we glance down to check the time on this beautiful, petite face, our eyes naturally fall to the hands themselves. And this brings us to our final piece, the piece that is the most personal, the most intimate, and perhaps the most surprising update of them all. We have traveled from the sculptural elegance of the ear, down the golden line of the neck, past the tailored structure of the lapel, and through the disciplined beauty of the wrist. Finally, we arrive at the destination of every gesture, handshake, and glass of wine raised in a toast: the hand. Piece 5, the East-West Gemstone ring. For generations, the old money standard for rings was fairly rigid. You had the signet ring, a symbol of family heritage, or the classic solitaire engagement ring, standing tall and vertical on the finger. While these will never truly go out of style, they are the expected choice. In 2026, the elegant woman is looking for something that feels just as timeless, but with a distinctly modern perspective. We are rotating our point of view, literally. The East-West ring is the defining jewelry trend of the year. The concept is brilliantly simple. Take a classic, elongated gemstone cut, like an emerald cut, an oval, or a marquise, and set it horizontally across the finger, rather than vertically up and down. This quarter-turn shift changes everything. It transforms a traditional stone into a piece of modern architecture. It takes something that could feel dusty or dated and gives it an edge that is sharp, geometric, and surprising. Why does this specific setting read as old money in 2026? Because it prioritizes the stone itself. This setting creates a continuous bar of sparkle that spans the width of your finger. It feels substantial. It feels like a modern heirloom. When you look at an east-west ring, it often evokes the Art Deco era of the 1920s, a time of bold geometry and unapologetic luxury. It suggests that you didn't just walk into a mall jeweler and pick the first thing you saw in the display case. It implies that you are a woman who commissions pieces, or perhaps resets family stones to suit her own life. Let's talk about the stones themselves. While diamonds are always a classic choice, 2026 is the year of color. We are seeing deep, rich hues that complement the old money color palette. Think of a dark sapphire that looks almost black in low light, an olive green tourmaline, or a whiskey-colored topaz. These stones have depth. They have character. An east-west setting frames these colored stones beautifully, turning them into a band of color that looks incredible, stacked with a simple gold wedding band, or worn alone on the index finger for a more powerful statement. There is also a functional elegance to this design that we must acknowledge. Vertical stones, especially high-set ones, catch on everything. They snag on your cashmere sweaters. They get in the way when you are putting on gloves. The east-west setting sits lower and hugs the curvature of the finger. It is protected. It is practical. It is designed for a woman who uses her hands, a woman who is active and involved in the world, not just sitting still to be looked at. Styling this piece allows for a bit of playfulness. Because the east-west ring takes up horizontal space, it looks fantastic on the index or middle finger, where it can stand alone without competing with a wedding set. It creates a shield effect that is very empowering. It draws the eye instantly when you hold a coffee cup or sign a document. It is a subtle flex, a detail that might go unnoticed from across the room, but up close, it is undeniable. This ring is the perfect punctuation mark for our curated look. It summarizes everything we have discussed today. It respects the materials of the past, gold and gemstones, but wears them with the attitude of the future. It is not stuck in tradition, it is playing with it. And that, my classy ladies, is exactly where you want to be. With that said, now we've walked through the 5 pillars of the modern elegant wardrobe for 2026, the fluid drop earring, the gold chain necklace, the lapel brooch, the cocktail watch, and the east-west gemstone ring. Each one of these pieces is distinct, yet they all share the same DNA. They are substantial, they are intentional, and most importantly, they are conversation starters. Together, they create a jewelry collection that speaks of heritage, refinement, and a quiet, artistic confidence. Think about how these pieces function together to build your image. The fluid drop earring brings movement and length to the face, ensuring you look modern rather than stiff. The gold chain acts as your anchor, providing that warm, constant glow against the skin. The lapel brooch separates you from the crowd, signaling that you are a master of styling, not just a consumer of fashion. The cocktail watch brings a feminine discipline to your wrist, reminding the world that you value your time. And finally, the east-west ring offers a fresh perspective, proving that you can respect tradition without being trapped by it. The beauty of this 2026 approach is that it frees you from the cycle of more. You do not need a jewelry box overflowing with trends that will expire in 6 months. You do not need to chase every micro-trend on social media. You simply need to be a collector. Old money elegance in 2026 is about curation. It is about looking at a piece and asking, will I still love this in 10 years? Will I want to pass this down? With these 5 choices, the answer is a resounding yes. They allow you to build a signature look that is entirely your own, one that looks expensive not because of the price tag, but because of the taste required to choose it. If you want to see more content like this, make sure to like, share with your friends, and subscribe, as doing so helps the channel massively. Until next time, stay beautiful, stay classy.